jaw is holding a decade of conversations you never finished. Every meeting you sat through with your teeth pressed together. Every night you ground through while your mind kept running. Every time you smiled when you wanted to say something else. That tension didn't leave. It calcified. And right now, there is one technique, documented in 6th century Taoist medicine and validated by modern myofascial research, that may begin to reverse what 12 years of clenching quietly built. It takes about 90 seconds, and you can do it tonight. Here's what most people get wrong about jaw tension. Your jaw isn't tight because you're stressed. It's tight because it became your stress management system, and nobody told you. The jaw, the skull base, and the cervical spine are not separate problems. They're one continuous fascial chain. Trigger one, you compress all three, and modern life pulls that trigger constantly. Think about how you hold a phone against your shoulder, how your chin juts forward toward a screen, how you breathe through your mouth at 2 a.m. when the anxiety spikes. These aren't separate habits. They're a pattern, and your body adapted to it brilliantly, too brilliantly. Ancient cultures weren't exempt from stress, but they had rituals built around releasing the jaw specifically, not as relaxation, not as luxury, as functional maintenance, the way you'd oil a hinge that carried weight every single day. Taoist physicians called the jaw the body's secondary diaphragm. Release it, they said, and the whole system breathes differently. Modern fascia researchers call this tensegrity, the idea that tension in one part of the body's connective tissue web redistributes across the entire structure. Same mechanism, different language. In 6th century Taoist medical texts, the jaw was called the gate of qi, the hinge where life force either flowed freely or pooled into stagnation. Practitioners documented that chronic jaw compression affected not just the head, but the shoulders, the chest, and even the hip flexors through what they called the armor meridian, a pathway we now recognize as the superficial front fascial line. They prescribed jaw release as a prerequisite before any breathwork or meditation, believing a closed gate made all other practices half as effective. Here's what happens inside your body when you chronically clench. Your masseter muscles, two of the densest muscles in the human body relative to their size, remain in a state of partial contraction. This sustained tension compresses the temporomandibular joint, reduces blood flow to the temporal lobe, and activates your trigeminal nerve, which is the largest cranial nerve in your skull. The trigeminal nerve doesn't just register jaw sensation, it connects to your brainstem, your stress response, and your pain processing centers. Researchers now describe it as a tension amplifier. When it's chronically stimulated, it lowers your overall pain threshold. You become more reactive, more irritable, more exhausted without knowing why. The fascia surrounding the jaw, the temporal fascia, the pterygoid muscles, the suboccipital group at the base of your skull, communicates directly with your dura mater, the connective tissue that wraps your brain and spinal cord. When these tissues are compressed, cerebrospinal fluid circulation slows. Your skull, which is designed to have subtle rhythmic movement, stiffens, circulation slows, fascia binds. Modern research confirms this cascade. A 2019 study from the University of Sao Paulo found that participants with chronic TMJ tension showed measurably elevated cortisol levels and significantly reduced heart rate variability compared to controls. Two markers strongly associated with chronic stress load. A separate review published in the Journal of Oral Rehabilitation noted that myofascial release targeting the masseter and pterygoid muscles produced reductions in reported headache frequency and neck pain intensity, with some participants reporting improvement within 3 sessions. Researchers noted an unexpected finding. Participants also reported improved sleep quality and reduced general anxiety, outcomes the researchers had not initially measured for. You can feel this immediately. Place 2 fingers gently on the muscle just in front of your ears. That's your masseter. Now clench slightly. Feel that density, that concentrated hardness. That's chronic activation. That's 12 years of adapted tension. But here's what's remarkable. That same muscle, deliberately released, becomes a doorway. Your body just calls it letting go. Ancient medicine called it opening the gate. This technique is called sungjia, from the Mandarin word for release or to let dissolve. It's not a stretch, it's a re-education of resting tone. Begin by finding a comfortable seated or lying position. Uncross your legs. Let your hands rest open, palms up. Set a timer for 90 seconds. The goal is not to force anything. It's to create the conditions for release. For beginners, part your lips slightly so your top and bottom teeth are not touching. Place the tip of your tongue gently on the roof of your mouth, just behind your upper front teeth. Take one slow breath in through your nose for 4 counts. As you exhale through your mouth for 6 counts, consciously let your jaw drop an additional 2 millimeters. Not forced, just gravity-assisted. Repeat this 4 times. Key focus. Notice which side feels more resistant. Common mistake. Don't push the jaw forward or to the side. This is a downward release only. For the intermediate version, after the 4 breath cycles, keep the jaw softly open and hum a low tone, somewhere in the key of your natural speaking voice, for 5 seconds. Feel the vibration spread into your cheekbones, your temples, your skull base. This adds a resonance component that engages the vagus nerve and begins to signal the autonomic nervous system toward parasympathetic dominance. Stay here for 3 full breath cycles. The advanced expression. Add a slow, deliberate side-to-side slide of the jaw. 2 millimeters left, return to center, 2 millimeters right, while maintaining the humming tone. This mobilizes the disc inside the temporomandibular joint itself. Mastery marker. When you can do this with 0 audible clicking and feel warmth spreading from your jaw into your upper neck, you've begun to restore true resting length to the masseter. Practice this once daily for beginners, twice daily during high-stress periods. Within your first session, most people notice a softening behind the eyes and a drop in shoulder elevation. The shoulders will drop, the jaw will soften, and sometimes there's a spontaneous deep exhale that arrives without effort. After 3 days, sleep onset often becomes faster. After 7 days, many people notice they're catching themselves clenching during the day, which means awareness has returned to a system that was running on automatic. After 30 days, the resting position of your jaw may shift entirely. Some people find they've been carrying their head 2 inches forward without knowing it. Safety note: if you have a known disc displacement or recent jaw injury, work with a physical therapist before adding the advanced sliding component. This isn't a jaw stretch. This is a nervous system conversation, one your body has been waiting 12 years to have. Modern wellness tells you tension is in your mind. Ancient medicine knew it was in your tissue, your hinges, your gates. Your jaw isn't broken. It's been loyal, holding what you couldn't put down, adapting, bracing, managing. And that loyalty came at a cost. Compression, reactivity, the low hum of exhaustion that never fully lifts. For thousands of years, before screens and schedules and the particular modern art of never fully exhaling, humans released the jaw naturally, through chewing varied textures, through song, through the wide-open expressions of grief and laughter that social performance taught us to suppress. We didn't need jaw release protocols because we had Vez that released us. You just learned what Taoist physicians considered prerequisite knowledge, not as a luxury practice, not as a beauty technique, but as the first step in restoring the body's full capacity to regulate itself. The softened jaw isn't the goal, it's the side effect. The goal is a nervous system that finally remembers what resting actually feels like. Tonight, try sung jaw before you sleep. Tomorrow, notice if the first hour of your morning feels quieter. In 7 days, check whether that persistent tightness behind your right eye or across your upper trap has shifted even slightly. And if this found you at exactly the right moment, you know what to do. As always, keep breathing.